want to talk about who gets the house when somebody passes away. I'm attorney Vernita Williams. Periodically, I will have meetings at my office with potential clients who want to know who gets the house. And sometimes it's a situation where maybe a person passed away and there was one of their children living in the house, or it might be the children sitting in front of me saying, we really don't want our stepmother to get our dad's house. So the question is posed, who gets the house? So a lot of times I will go through a series of questions and assist people in understanding whether they have any standing to fight for the house. So the answer is, well, it depends. So people kind of don't like to hear it depends because they want to hear something concrete. So think about these things when you're wondering who gets the house. First of all, what name is on the deed? Many times people assume that someone who passed away has their name on the deed to a property, and sometimes that's not the case. So the first thing you need to know is who is on the deed to that property. If the person who passed away is on the deed, then the next thing you need to know is whether that person has a will. Did they do a last will and testament and give this particular property to somebody? So that's the second thing you need to know. If they did a will, the third thing you need to evaluate is that will enforceable? Sometimes people will do a will, particularly laymen, and they don't understand that the things that they have put in the will are not valid. For instance, in the state of Florida, a spouse cannot will his homestead property to someone other than his spouse or a minor child. So if there is a will, you need to look at whether or not there are provisions in that will that may not be enforceable. The fourth thing to think about is if there is no will, who are the heirs? Who are the heirs to the person that passed away? And then that will entail defining and properly defining relationships. A girlfriend is not an heir. There are some instances in which I've been contacted by a girlfriend who says, I've been living in the property. My boyfriend died suddenly. I was paying the mortgage. Surely I'm entitled to the house. Well, a girlfriend is not an heir. So if there's not a will, or if there's a will and it's not enforceable, you need to look at who are the heirs according to that state's statute. Once you determine who the heirs are, then the fifth thing you need to look at is what does the statute say about who gets this property? And statutes differ depending upon whether the heir is the spouse or whether the heirs are siblings, whether an heir is a whole sibling versus a half sibling. So those are 5 things you need to look at. Who's on the deed? If there's a will, whether it is enforceable. If there's no will, or if there's a will that's not enforceable, who are the heirs? And the last thing, what does the statute say? So you notice I didn't say you're going to get the property if you lived in it and if you took care of your parents before they passed away. That's not how you get the property. I know for emotional reasons you may think it's fair that you receive the property if you lived in it and if you took care of the parent who passed away. But that is not the criteria for being awarded a property. Also, I did not say if you are the oldest child. There are some cultures that believe that the oldest child should be getting the property. If the family is an African family or a Haitian family, the oldest child has a lot of standing. So if there is no will in America and there are several children, then the oldest child doesn't have any more standing than the other children. Also, I did not say the personal representative gets the property. It is not always the case that a personal representative will receive the property. The personal representative is responsible for working with the estate attorney to handle the affairs of the estate, but that personal representative does not have the right to choose a property for himself or herself that was not willed to them. So there are a lot of questions that have to be answered when you're looking at who is entitled to a property. I'm attorney Vernita Williams. If you would like additional information regarding probate and estate matters, please go to my website, vcwlaw.com. There you can find a checklist of 25 things you can do to set your affairs in order. There is also 25 estate planning tips to help you avoid legal nuisances and nightmares. You can receive those 2 free downloads on my website at vcwlaw.com. That is vcwlaw.com. If you'd like to call me with your comments, questions, or suggestions, you may call me at 786-831-9483. That is 786-831-9483. Thank you so much for listening.